A few years ago, I was scrolling Reddit and I saw this meme. I thought it might be a fun build because learning how to build my own custom keyboard was something I've always wanted to do. To figure out what I needed to do, I found this full guide by Ben Chapman on crackthecode.co, which I've linked in the description, and it was actually pretty simple. There's multiple boards you can use, but I went with the teensy board that I got from a friend of mine. All you need is some diodes, some wire, keycaps, which some I 3D printed, some stabilizers for the bigger keys, and some switches. I went with the Cherry MX Blues because I enjoy the clicky feeling. And of course, we'll need to design a housing to hold it all together. I'll link everything I used in the description below. To design the housing, I went with a 3-piece combo: the top cover, the base plate, and the bottom cover. The base plate will hold all the wiring and switches, and the top cover will hold the teensy board. I added in these nubs for the teensy board so I can just pop it in so I don't need to use any screws. Next, I needed to figure out the keycaps. I decided to try 3D printing them at first since it would give me the most control. This way, I would be able to make the spacebar any size that I want, and all the other keys will stay consistent. I printed them using my Elegoo Mars 5 SLA printer with smoke gray water washable resin. They looked pretty good, but another problem was the stabilizer for the spacebar. Stabilizers, as its name suggests, stabilize bigger keycaps like the spacebar and enter key. So when you press down on one side, the whole key goes down evenly and doesn't seesaw it. Now, when you buy stabilizers, they come with these pre-bent wires depending on the size of your keys measured in units. Obviously, my spacebar was custom, so that meant I had to bend my own wire to the right size, and I just didn't do a very good job of it, so it caused my spacebar to bind up. Okay, so I decided that buying off-the-shelf keycaps might be better, but this came with its own set of challenges. I never knew this, but keycaps actually have different profiles depending on the row that the letter is in. So if I wanted to buy the letters F, U, C, K, Y, O, U, F is in the middle row and Y, O, and U are on the row above. So if I buy the keycaps with these letters, the profiles won't match and the whole keyboard will just look super weird. So my solution was just to buy blank keycaps, all in the same profile, and figure out how to get the letters on there later. Luckily, Taihao from Taiwan had these available, and I went with the blank R3 keys since the R3 profiles seemed to be more neutral and flat. They also had a 6U spacebar and the big ass enter key, which is perfect since I wanted to replicate the meme as close as I can. And yes, it's actually called the big ass enter key. And I did find some smaller spacebars on AliExpress, but I couldn't find a matching stabilizer. Now that I have those things figured out, I'll print out the housing and test fit everything. I printed the test piece in metallic blue just because I like the color, but the end product will be more of a retro beige look. I installed the switches, stabilizers, and keycaps. This was before I decided to use the bigger spacebar and off-the-shelf keycaps, so these 3D printed ones will work for now. The teensy board fits in nicely and everything is secured in with some M3 bolts. I had a small spacing issue with the blue base plate, so I printed out another one in black. Now that I know everything fits, it was time to do the wiring. To figure out the wiring, I used this website, keyboardlayouteditor.com, to first create the layout. Once you create the layout, it gives you this code, which you can then paste into this website, kbfirmware.com, that gives you the wiring diagram. This is also where you would set the key maps, which basically tells the board what letter or function each key will be. Anyway, this is the wiring we're going to follow. So to physically hand wire everything, I followed that guide that I mentioned earlier. I bend the diodes into an L shape with a loop in the middle and thread them onto the top left pin of the switches. I do the same thing for the other switches and solder them in. Then I mark the spacing and strip off small sections of the green wire and solder them to each diode. I repeat this process until everything is connected as shown in the wiring diagram. The wires that are in each column and row then go to the corresponding pins on the Teensy board shown here. So I'll go ahead and solder those wires in place. I know the wiring seems like a mess, so here's a diagram that I drew to make it a bit more clear for you. Hopefully that helps. Next, I need to flash the firmware onto the board, which is super simple. On the keyboard firmware builder website, download the hex file under the compile tab. Next, head to this website and run the teensyloader.exe and follow the instructions to flash the firmware onto the board. Now I can finally test the keyboard.
Oh god, it works!
Okay, now that I know everything works, it's time to print the final housing. As I mentioned earlier, I ended up using off-the-shelf keycaps and spacebar. I tried to find matching keycap colors, but I think I'm happy with this combo. With these off-the-shelf keycaps, there was another small spacing issue, so I made the necessary adjustments and printed out the housing with Bamboo Light Gray PLA Basic. Now I just need to swap in the electronics. Unfortunately, since the base plate is different, I have to unsolder all the wires and diodes and resolder them onto the new base. With all the wires removed, we can now remove all the switches and pop them into the other baseboard. We're almost finished. There's that one last problem we need to solve, which is how to get the letters on the keys. Now, I started this project back in August of last year, and my first idea was to use a MOPA laser to engrave onto the keycap directly. And even after several adjustments, it wasn't working out. But then I discovered UV stickers, permanent, high quality, and die cut. This was the perfect solution. And finally, after the letters are on, I added these rubber feet so it doesn't slide around.